Welcome to the Raider Talks game recap. I am your host Art Navarrete here alongside Nick Ibarra. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Monday Night Football, Raiders-Packers. The Raiders come out with the win, Nick.
Yep.
17-13. Can't say it was pretty. It was a gritty win by the Raiders.
Yeah.
Tough win. Some ups, some downs in this game. How do you feel about it?
I feel great knowing that this was a defensively led win. You know, we really didn't do anything stupid, and except that one play on the defensive side of the ball. One touchdown just off of a turnover. We'll get more into it, but this is a great feeling.
Great feeling on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes.
Something we haven't felt in a long time. Raiders absolutely shut out the Packers in this one. They only scored 13, and the offense had a turnover on our side of the field, giving the Packers, easy field position to score a touchdown. So, the Raider defense absolutely dominated.
Yeah.
Maxx Crosby. Mad Max. He's the best. He might be the best football player in the world.
I think so. Today he had the stats to prove it, but then you also look beyond the stats and just what he was doing. Like we always say on the show, it's just amazing. He's everywhere. He's beating tackles to get to the quarterback or get to the running back, or just getting, and forcing them to do stupid stuff. He's special. Today 1 sack, 4 tackles for losses, 5 tackles in total. He's just so special.
There's a play where Maxx Crosby went around the entire line,
in the middle,
got Jordan Love. Maxx Crosby is special. If you're going to buy a Raiders jersey of a current player, you go get number 98, Maxx Crosby. He's an animal, and he's the best football player in the world right now, I believe. Defensively. We'll say defensively, but best player in the world. Maxx Crosby, awesome performance from him.
Yeah.
And the way he's playing is just incredible.
Yeah, the way he was playing was incredible. Just like I said, on and off the stat sheet, if your eyes were just glued on him, and then ESPN gave him recognition that he deserves. He's one of the NFL's best right now.
And he always gets snubbed from these Defensive Player of the Year conversations.
Yeah.
And, I've been seeing the Defensive Player of the Year, like the top guys, candidates, on ESPN lately. And Maxx Crosby's nowhere to be seen. I know the Raiders are losing a little bit, but you got to give this guy the flowers. He's the only reason.
Exactly.
He's the only reason why the Raiders are competitive. He's the only reason why the Raiders games are close. Maxx Crosby's an animal, and he deserves all the respect in the world.
And I think after today, primetime, you should put him into that category with the Boses, with the Parsons.
Way more pressures than them.
Yeah, and just because they're on defensively led teams, and not giving up points, and you see, well, Raiders gave up 30-something, or Raiders lost and gave up this. Yeah, but look at Maxx Crosby. Look at his 2 sacks, or look at his tackles for loss, or just like I keep on saying, just keep your eyes glued on him and look at what he's doing in these tackles and guards.
Just an absolute animal. Robert Spillane with 2 picks. Almost right place, right time, both picks.
Yeah.
What is Jordan Love doing on that one? We may never know. But the other one was a great play by Marcus Peters to tip that ball. Spillane gets it, and that was a huge play for the Raiders and momentum changer in that game. And that was a huge play by Peters and Spillane to have the good hands to catch the ball.
Yeah, the ball was right there. He did what he was supposed to do and just catch the ball. We've seen so many times where we've dropped interceptions, or the ball was placed right to him, caught it, did what he's supposed to do. Especially on the second one, Peters made a hell of a play. Spillane got it and ran well with the ball to get us inside the 10.
Trayvon Merrick running around, tackling, doing a great job with the safety position for the Raiders right now. He was a guy that I think Raider fans were really looking at him and was like, man, he looks slow. He looks a little lazy out there. He came in just to play back and don't let anything get behind you. Yeah. But now he's starting to get more aggressive, and you're starting to see more of aggressive Trayvon Merrick, and it's starting to be a game changer for this Raider defense.
You're starting to see why we picked him in the second round, or this is why we picked him. What he's doing right now is really good too. And after coming off of his last game, which probably was his best game as a Raider, and followed up with this kind of game, and just like you said, all over the field and not doing anything stupid, is pretty good.
And I know we talked a lot about Maxx Crosby, but the Raiders' defensive front as a whole, getting a lot of pressure, interior D-line, edge rushers. It's great to see. It's good to see because first couple of games, we felt like we weren't getting any pressure. Now I feel like there's pressure on every single play. I think a little bit of trouble in stopping the run at times, but that's the big thing right now. Pressure is not a problem.
Yeah, that's not the problem. You see just what they did in general. You see the 13 points. You see the yards that they gave up. This was their game. Everybody should get a game ball on the defensive side because of what they did today.
I want to talk about one more guy on the defensive side of the ball, and that's number 21, Amik Robertson. I mean, this guy gets counted out year after year. I know he's a little guy, but he is scrappy. He is so scrappy. Amik Robertson just makes plays, and he has a game-winning, almost a game-winning walk-off pick for the Raiders. Man, Amik, that's awesome.
Yeah, to sit there and
very awesome.
I looked at the highlight, get beat just a little bit, and then to make up for it and just jump out of nowhere and catch the ball. Especially with he was 6'5", 6'6". It seems like he always gets paired up with the biggest dudes, and that's when he makes the biggest plays. We said with Hobbs being out, Amik needed to step up, and he stepped up today and won us the ball game.
Talk about a competitor, an all-time competitor, Amik Robertson. You see him competing on the field, and when he makes mistakes, they're aggressive mistakes. They're not mistakes he's being lazy or he forgets a job or something. When he makes a mistake, it's a physical mistake that he's trying to make a play. And that's something you can really respect about Amik Robertson. And year after year, he gets counted out. But I think he's played 3 good seasons, including this season so far. He's played 3 quality seasons for the Raiders where he just keeps making big play after big play. And he's a guy that you feel like can get a pick at any time.
Yeah, or just make a play at any time, if the ball finds him, he's going to get the ball and make a play with it. Amik Robertson is pretty good.
Yeah, Amik, respect to Amik. He don't get the respect he deserves. That's all the good right there, Nick. Defensively, that's all the good. Patrick Graham coming together, his team coming together, his defense coming together. But, man, great performance by the Raiders defense. Even last week, great performance. So a couple good weeks in a row, maybe even 3 good weeks in a row, including that Steelers game. We didn't give up that many points in that one either. But offensively, Nick, Raiders have still yet to get past the 20-point mark, to get to the 20-point mark. And it's getting ugly for this Raider offense, especially when we're led by a head coach who's an offensive guru.
Yes. Or at least just like I said, offensive minded. This is, I don't know what's going on. And, it just seems like some of the stuff that they, like I keep on saying, out of the gate was good. They get Mayer involved. Some of the stuff like, okay. And then you saw it today that they were doing delayed handoffs to Josh Jacobs, which really worked well last year with him. So it's like, okay, but then you look at some of the stuff like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? What really made me mad today is Spillane gets the pick inside the 10. There's no shot into the end zone. And, you settle for a 3. And then defensive stops them with 1:40 left. You call a timeout. You got 1:40 and 1 timeout to go do something. And you let it tick all the way down to 50 seconds?
Yeah.
50-something seconds, call 3 ridiculous plays, and then give them the ball back with 10 seconds. And didn't even really move the ball or didn't even... So it is. It's just... that
time could have really been used and stuff to, have more control
and you
of
could
the game.
And your playbook opens up a little bit more with it being, hey, you have 1:40 with 1 timeout.
Yes.
Some out of bounds plays or whatever, but you have this.
100%.
Instead of 55 seconds... I think still 2 timeouts, but with 55 seconds, your playbook does close a little bit.
Either way, it's not good. What I'm about to say right now. Either way, it's not good. So I get why he called a timeout. He called a timeout because he's like, I don't want, or he didn't call a timeout because he's like, I don't want to give the Packers the ball back with a bunch of time left. But this is his offense. This is his quarterback that he got. You gotta have faith in your offense to go down and try to score a touchdown and put a foot on their throat. But either way, it's bad. He made the right decision in his eyes, but it just shows what kind of players did you bring in on your offense, and why don't you have faith in your offense? So it's pretty bad.
And just think about, because before the pick was 7-3, right?
Yes.
So you got to figure, you take a shot at the end zone, do something, make it 14-3. Then you come out, get the pick again, or we stop them, and then with that time left, who knows? It could be
10-3 at the time of the pick.
Well. Yeah, but I'm just saying if we scored 14-3, you stop them, then you have that time with the timeouts. This could be a 21-3 ball game.
Yeah.
Over like the Bills did to us. Like we've seen around the league and what teams are doing to us, and we get the ball back at half. But it seems like it was none of that. We throw a pick out of the half, and it's a 10-10 ball game, and it's just like, oh, okay, here comes the old Raiders again.
Nick, you know this is the Raiders.
I know exactly.
You know nothing's gonna be easy. You know ain't no free sailing.
I know we run things different in this Raiders organization that's around the league. But it would have just felt good to know that we could have took advantage of the ball back, of the turnovers, and of the time and timeouts that we did have.
I mean, when was the last time that like we had like a normal football game?
Or
the Bills.
No, you're right.
The Bills one was kind of like whatever because we were getting our butts whooped. We weren't shivering in our living room couch, but the last couple of games we were shivering in our couch. Man, it's crazy to watch the Raiders. I mean, Raider fans have a lot of gray hairs, a lot of wrinkles. I mean, a lot of wrinkles.
Yeah, it's never comfortable. With the Raider game, it's never going to be comfortable. No. You can sit there after the first touchdown and be like, it's going to be smooth sailing. Yeah. No, it's always going to be back and forth comebacks or whatever. But I'm just saying, I think we had an opportunity, and I think Josh McDaniels failed in that last 5 minutes of the first half.
Yeah. Jimmy G doesn't look too good either, Nick. I mean, he threw a bad pick, missed a wide open Mayer, I believe.
That would have been a whole bunch of yards.
Yeah, and just some questionable throws from Jimmy. But, I mean, if he wins, he wins. We won today, so that's all that matters to me. But I don't like the way he did it today. I thought it was pretty ugly by the offense in general and Jimmy. I didn't like how Jimmy played.
And before that interception, he was doing whatever it took for us to get the lead and for us to win. But then that pick, and it's just like, what are you doing? And then there was one.
It seemed like after that pick, he was so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
well.
and then
he couldn't bounce back.
And then we talk off the show and everything. Just that happy feet of him. As soon as he gets the ball, he doesn't know. It looks like he doesn't know where to go with it, or what to do, or what his first read or second read is, or anything. And he almost threw a pick in the third or fourth quarter, late third, almost early fourth. And it's just like, we need to score and stomp her at the throat, and you're really throwing it into double coverage like that,
like triple coverage.
Triple coverage. You're right, because there was one in the
yeah.
So it's just like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the guy with the highest winning percentage without turnover problems. Like in San Francisco, you come here, you have a turnover problem. You can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, he does need to fix some stuff up.
Yeah, he's gonna need to figure it out, especially if we're gonna want to win, football games against better teams. His next 2 weeks is a good chance for us to get going. We got the Patriots and we got the Bears. It's a good chance for us to get going a little bit, get some wins, know what it feels like to win, and maybe they get in a groove. But after watching this game, you're like so excited. Like, you're not so excited. You're so excited about the win. You're happy about the win. Cool, we get to enjoy our weeks. That's awesome. But just the way the offense played, as a whole, you don't feel really good about the Raiders going forward. It's one of those,
because it's one of those things to where if offense look good, defense look good, and we won, okay, cool, we're improving. But there's really no improvement for the offensive side. Defensive side, you saw it a lot today. 3 picks. I can't remember the last time Raiders had 2 turnovers in a game, let alone 3. 3 picks, some big stops. Defense played really well. Offense, it seemed like the same stuff. Josh Jacobs really couldn't get going. He's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. I think he had like 70 yards rushing today. But still moving that ball and just offensive things that we're doing, it doesn't look right, Art. It does not look right.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of a...
So I'll take the win. So it is. I'll take the win, but it's head scratching to think we did not improve on offense. And that's the big thing right now, that we need to score some points, because there's going to come a time where 17's not going to do it. 17's done it for us twice. We're 2-3. Okay, good. But we're going to have to score more in order to be good in this football league.
Yeah, a very weird feeling after this game. Like, you're happy about the win, like I said. But, like, if your friends come to you and ask you, Raiders are back, you can't say yeah. You got to be like, we'll see. We'll see what we do next week. We'll see what we do the following week. But it's just a tricky situation, especially your defense plays so good, and you just want to be so happy for like the Raiders win and how great the defensive played. But I mean, you would be if the offense played good all year so far, and boom, this was a crazy game and defense won it for us.
Yeah.
But the offense hasn't played good all year. Defenses have been improving since week 1 every week, or after week 2 every week, and the offense has gotten. It's just stale. It's stale right now. Maybe even worse.
Yeah. It just seemed like this might be our best. After 5 weeks. After
17, 18 points might be our best.
17 and 18 points might be our best.
And in this era of the National Football League.
You can't do that.
17, 18 points is not going to work. Our defense might be. We don't know how good our defense could be, but we're not the 2002 Ravens.
And
Nick.
you know what? We don't have chunk play, a big throw, and then boom, we score. Like, we scored today on a 14-play drive, went 70-something yards in 9 minutes. Like, okay, that's good. We're taking time off the clock. My biggest thing, time of possession, yeah, we did it. But there's going to have to be some points where, hey, we're going to take a shot downfield or chunk play, and then get it to score quick, you know? And so that's some things that we don't have right now that we need to work on and have. So that we can just score on command and, hey, let's go, let's do this.
Which sucks because we have Devontae Adams, the best wide receiver in football. We have Josh Jacobs, who is starting to look like the best running back in football once again. Probably behind McCaffrey. McCaffrey's having a great year. Mm-hmm. But Jacobs, top 2 running back in the league. And then you got just talent. You got Hunter Renfro's been a Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. You know? And you got some weapons.
You saw what Mayer could do today.
You saw what Mayer can do. But Jacoby Myers looks great.
Yes.
But a lot of it has to do with Jimmy.
I think so.
Jimmy, right? Mm-hmm. And the Josh McDaniels play calling.
Yeah.
But a big chunk of it is the offensive line, who has really struggled.
No, you're absolutely right.
Whose fault is that, though? Is it the coaching, or is it Josh McDaniels not going out and getting better offense? Or not Josh McDaniels and Ziegler not going to get better offensive linemen during the offseason and being content with these guys?
And you can't blame, well, we don't got this guy. Our offensive line has been a unit since week 1. Like, there hasn't been no, well, you're in, you're out, or this person got hurt. It's been almost the same 5.
Yes.
And it's not. Josh Jacobs, you look at Josh Jacobs' rushing numbers because of the offensive line. You see all the sacks. Today we had 3rd and shorts. And we got out of field goal position in 1. And just a big sack on 3rd down because of offensive line.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff I see is not developing because of the offensive line. And you're right. Some of the stuff is Jimmy G of not being aware, or, you know, him just a funky throw here. Happy feet. You know, a funky throw here or whatever. But a lot has to do about this offensive line too. You know, we're the last in the league in rushing. They have a big part of it, and just some of the points. I mean, we can't get over that 17-point mark, and they have something to do with it also.
Yeah, so it's a big chunk involving Josh McDaniels, his offense, a big chunk involving Jimmy Garoppolo and his quarterback play, and a big chunk involving the offensive line for this Raiders offense. So that's stuff that needs to get cleaned up, and let's just improve. Let's just improve next week. Let's score 21 points and at least show some improvement, so at least you're feeling like decent about this team. Because right now you're not feeling good about this team, because when your offense sucks, the way our offense sucks, you know, you can lose any game. Even if your defense is good, you can lose any game.
Yeah.
And we don't know how good our defense is right now, but even if our defense was the 2000 Ravens, you can still lose games.
Exactly.
Because of how bad our offense is.
Defense wins championships, but you also need to put up points. You know, and yeah, I mean, and it's sometimes if defense, and we're going to see it, and we've saw it, if defense takes a break and allows a 24-point, a 30-point, we got to be able to score with them in order for us to win. You know,
we gotta have the opposite wins of this type of win.
Yeah, and
where the offense goes off and helps the defense.
Yeah, and you know, and it's not there. You know, our defense is at some point. You know, these last 2 weeks have been really good, or these last, I should say, 6 quarters have been really good. But at some point, they're gonna take a tiny step back and allow some yards, allow some points. This offense has got to score right with them.
Yeah, this offense has got to click if the Raiders want to be a good football team, a decent football team. But the good thing is we are 2-3. We're going back home next week against the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
And we have a chance to be 500. After all this madness, Mark Davis getting yelled at in his suite at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels getting the boot from every fan. Aiden O'Connell coming in to play quarterback, but now Jimmy G's the quarterback. Jimmy G's playing bad quarterback. All this stuff, Raiders can still be 500.
Crazy, huh?
After all this. And if the Raiders get the win next week, you start to breathe a little bit and feel decent. Because right now, we feel like, thank God we got the win, but what are we going to do next week?
Yeah.
What team is coming out next week? Hopefully we get the win. We're 500, so then you can be really excited for like a big game. Like this could be a breakout game, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll see. You don't know.
You're exactly right. And, you know, I think before, and I'm not looking ahead or anything, but before that Lions game, because I saw them the other day, they look good.
No, they're good.
Yes.
4-1.
This offense has got a clip before that Lions game.
Yeah,
And,
they do.
you know, defensively, you know, I've seen what the Patriots have done these last couple weeks. They've only put up, I think, 3 points these last 2 weeks. They haven't looked good at all. They've been giving up a whole bunch of yards and everything. I mean, this next week could be the chance to have our offense break out. Hey, go do this. Go, let's try some things. Let's go put up some serious points. Defense, do your thing. But then you also, what Raider team's going to come out, and the Raider way is another game like this against a struggling Patriots team.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Mac Jones looks like Brady back there next week. So we'll see. But I like the way this defense is going, and offensively, man, we just gotta get it going.
Yeah. So takeaways from the game: defensively, Raiders looking great. Week by week, offensively does not look good.
Yeah.
Right. And we go ahead and play 2 struggling teams in a row, and the Raiders got to take care of business.
Yeah.
And we'll see how they do against those teams.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
But like we said, it's good. It's a great day to be a Raider.
Either way, if you win, it's a great win.
Yeah, Monday Night Football, we did it. We won. No matter what, we took care of business.
Because this could be a whole different episode right now if we lose.
If we give up that touchdown,
yeah,
we're sitting here. Hey, it's 1-4.
Caleb Williams.
Man, yes. Next week's the Caleb Williams Bowl already, and then the following week's Caleb Williams Bowl too. But you're right. You know, we get the pick. We win. No matter how we win, it feels good because this was a defensively led win. We haven't had one of those in a while. Defense looks good. Maxx Crosby's a beast, and yeah, defensively we're looking good. And these next 2 weeks, or just next week, against a struggling offense, it could be the same thing.
Raiders win this game, Monday Night Football, 17-13 over the Packers. They have a chance to go 500 next week against a struggling Patriots team in the Legion Stadium.
Yeah.
And, man, we'll see how it goes in these next upcoming days. See how the interviews go with McDaniels and all of them, and hopefully we can improve next week. We'll see you guys for probably a midweek episode. But we'll definitely be here for the game preview for the Patriot game. Huge game for the Raiders. Another one. Another season on the line type game. So, man, we're going to be sweating for the next couple weeks. But hopefully they can come out of this. Hopefully they can come out of this next week 500.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's a whole new season.
Well, after today, it's going to be a good week in that facility and in Vegas. You know, just build off of this and... you know, hopefully kick off the season. We said, let's kick off the season this week. We got the win. We're 2-3. We need one more to go 500. And then looking at the schedule, the ball is going to be rolling.
Yeah, and then Tay in his interview, they asked him, how big is this win? And he's like, you know, it's just good to win, have that feeling of winning, because losing is a disease.
Yeah.
Losing is a disease. If you lose... and you just keep losing, it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
So just to get a win on the board, get a W on the board, that, like you said, in the facility, it's a way better mood, way better atmosphere. And even whether you like Josh McDaniels or not, first time I ever seen him smile in the last month. And that was the first time I ever seen him smile probably ever after the game. He did a little, yeah, he had a little smirk. But it's good just to see him happy. And, you know, it's going to be a good day in the facility. And that winning atmosphere, getting a win is contagious. So hopefully it stays contagious for the Raiders.
Yeah, hopefully, you know, like they said on ESPN, these next couple games are huge. These next handful of games are huge. We come out of this looking good. Hopefully today was the start.
We'll see you guys next time. Go Raiders. Good win.